Race Recon series. On this channel, I try and make Zwift more fun and more accessible for riders new and old. And as you can see, I fall more into the old category myself, but I don't let that stop me. If you want to get more out of Zwift, why don't you watch along with us today, and if you like what you see, take a look at some of the other videos on the channel. Well, one thing, if you want some kudos next week, I would definitely like to see who the first person that can tell me where that island is that I have in the splash screen. I'll give you a hint, I've been there a couple of times. That's not much of a hint, but let's see who gets the kudos for that. Okay, 2 laps, Beach Island Loop in Watopia. It's in total 26.9 kilometers and has a mere 88 meters of climbing. So the first 5 kilometers of this is exactly the same as you're doing today, because I'm recording this on Thursday, but it's a much different ride. This is flat and it is going to be fast for the whole 27 kilometers that you're out there. So be prepared for that for sure. We do go over the dirty suppressor a couple of times, and remember from last time that my recommendation is you do a little more of a blob up as you go around there. And in actual fact, that's a little bit like my recommendation for the whole of the ride. A lot of teams really worry about getting into a pace line, and the problem with that is if you stretch that pace line beyond your abilities and break it, then you're in a little bit of trouble, and a stretched out pace line is actually worse than a decent stretched blob. So think about that for your strategy today. Key things, this first climb that we're going to see in a couple of seconds, and then the dirty suppressor. Those are really the only 2 things that get in the way of making this a completely flat course. In terms of bikes, aero, aero, aero. So this first climb, it's the same as last week. We've done it a bunch of times. It's fairly steady all the way up, and 500 meters, 2.5%. As we're going up this repeated climb, let's take a look at all of the coffee club members. And here's the thing about the coffee club. What I do with it is I pop up there all of the downloadable assets. So that's your DS sheet, it's your bike choices, it's your ride on a page, whatever is appropriate for any given ride. Completely free to download. If you want to donate something, you can, but absolutely you don't have to. And in fact, even though it asks you for your email address, if you really don't want to, you don't need to put an email address in there, or you can make one up.
I went by your house, what a big mistake. But for a while I thought that I wouldn't break. I need something else to clear my head.
Really, up until now, we've just been riding in formation with 2.5 kilometers in 15.4 if you're on the second lap. This is the first notable feature after that initial climb. I just power through this, and I think every team should. It's so short, a little extra power just keeps the momentum as you go up here, and then it's down the other side of the volcano to the land bridge. So we're going to accelerate as we go down this hill. Stay together, stay in formation, just keep an eye on each other.
Take control of your own life.
When I did this ride, it was Tuesday, I think. I did it with on one of the Pride rides, and it was great to see all the colours of the Pride flag and whatnot. Anyway, here we are riding in formation, get into the dirty suppressor. That archway is your marker. It's a couple of 100 meters of flat, and then we wind our way up the hill. Only one thing you really need to know here is that dirt, gravel is dirt, isn't it? Adds a couple of percent to the way the road feels. So where it says 2%, 3%, 4%, it's gonna feel like 4%, 5%, 6% as you go up here. But keep your power steady, keep a couple of stronger riders towards the front to pull everyone up, and you should be good to go. This will hurt second lap though. On the second lap, you might have to be prepared, if you want to keep your speed up, to lose a couple of riders as you're going up. You've got plenty, that's okay. Bear that in mind though. the Dirty Sorpresa ends at that waterfall, not a waterfall, ends at that fountain, there we go, and then we head down towards the sprint.
So much to say, take control of your own life. Okay, try to be brave. You have so much to say, take control of your own life.
This is all pretty flat. You go around past the Sealions towards the bridge. Turn right when we get to the bridge, we don't cross it. And then there's this little dip down and the rise back up. And just like the one when we were in the volcano, the rise back up, my recommendation here for the team is just power through this. It's not far, you don't want to lose momentum, you want to keep your speed up. So let's just power through, and then as we get to the top of the hill, it's a really long 1.5 kilometer sort of gentle 1% descent I should say. We're going to jump all the way forward. That's where it ends, and now we are in this area that is a little bit tricky just because it's boardwalk and then it's tarmac and then it's gravel, and that can kind of mess with things a little bit, but it's really not that bad. And by now everyone watching this has probably done this kind of changing in terrain 20 times, so you don't need to worry about it too much.
Set me free. You make me win in every way. You showed me how to spread my wings. Yes, I'm the winner of the day.
This section ends, of course, as we enter into the tunnels, and we're in the last section of the lap, really, still a couple of kilometers to go, but you'll descend into the tunnels, and it's flat all the way to the other side where you come out again. We're going to skip that and jump all the way forward once we make this descent. Here we go, as if by magic, 1.7 kilometers disappears, and we're at 11.3 kilometers if you're on lap 1, 24.1 if you're on lap 2. Up this little rise, power up there, but make sure you stay together, especially on the last lap. You want 4 finishes, don't stretch out too much, stay as a group, but go up here as fast as you can.
And when I space out, I see the possibilities unfolding the way that I want. That you showed up was written in.
Then a false flat up almost to the corner, and then it's pretty much flat all the way home.
Push myself to victory. You make me winner.
So as we're finishing up this lap, I'm only going to do one lap with you. We've got all the distances for both laps, and of course the DS tear-up sheet has all of that. Most important thing to say, I think, or to think about for this one, is it's going to be a fast, flat couple of laps. This is all about getting your formation nailed and keeping a consistent pace. If you lose somebody, that's okay. Just make sure you do it at the right time and make your decisions quickly. Here's the DS sheet for both laps, and that's what we have for today. Just a quick one.